All right, what's going on, YouTube? I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but it's a lot going on. Today is the 26th of January, and a lot of different stuff going on in the news about mandates being repealed, and had seen something in the news that they were going to get rid of the masks and social distancing and all that kind of stuff in England. And so, I mean, superficially, this is good news. Superficially, this is exactly what you would want, what you would hope for, but superficially. Because I had made a video back, I don't even know what that was, 8 months ago or something. And I said there would come a point where, like, we won, so to speak, where we'd feel like COVID was done, or we're gonna get rid of these masks, we're gonna have a mask burning party or whatever, all this different type of stuff. But that would be basically fool's gold, because the world would not have figured anything out. Because like I've said in these videos, we're in the midst of a judgment. This is not random. This is not merely something God allowed. This is a judgment. It fundamentally, it's his. And you can say, well, what about evil people, and what about the elite, and what about, the Illuminati and all this stuff? Okay, read Isaiah 10, where God used the Assyrians as the rod of his indignation. So those people, they got their own day of reckoning, they got their own judgment day, but at this time in history, they are tools. They are the rod of God's indignation. You say, well, I don't think God would raise up somebody evil. Ever heard of Pharaoh? So, God orchestrates, God brings evil, God uses evil people to bring in judgments, and then once he's done bringing in the judgment, then he punishes the evil people for what they did. So, like I said, we're in the midst of a judgment. And so if you understand that, then you'll see things like COVID and masks and all this stuff are symptoms. They are not themselves the problem, they are the symptoms. And so what's happening is that people are starting to wake up to symptoms. They're starting to wake up to, hey, maybe we shouldn't wear these. Hey, I'm not totally sure that this works. I'm not totally sure that this is not without consequences. I'm trying to figure out what's really going on here. So people's eyes are starting to open, but they're starting to open to a limited truth. See, they think they're about to have their eyes full. They think they're about to have their eyes fully open, but you know what this is? It's like a dream within a dream. I mean, people are about to wake up from like dream A and think they're awake, only to later find out that they're still in dream B. Because you can get rid of all this stuff, and you can get rid of this, and you can get rid of the mask, and you can do all this stuff. But if you don't fix the core problem of sin and rebellion against God and all this stuff, then it's all basically a moot point. Because we're either going to get rid of, this virus to have it replaced with something else that's worse, or we're just not going to get rid of this virus. And so I will tell you, just what I see coming, what I have felt this whole time, and what seems the most likely to me at this point is that we are going to kind of repeal a lot of this stuff. People are going to feel like we won. They're going to totally let their guard down. They're going to totally go out there. They're going to totally plunge back into sin, double down on sin, basically try to take things back to 2019, probably even ramp things up from how they were in 2019. And then that is what will trigger this big judgment, which I think is going to be COVID related. If I had to say how I see this all unfolding, everybody intermingles, everybody forgets about distancing, forgets about masks, forgets about all this stuff, really starts being in a position to really be spreading the virus. And then some enhanced variant comes about, like the Omicron, except it's like harsher or something to that. It's as contagious, but it's more efficacious or something. And so then that's going to spread to everybody. And the people who will be in the worst position, the most compromised position, will be the people who got the most of this. If you got 2 rounds 8 months ago, you're in a better position than someone who got 2 rounds a month ago. And if you got 2 rounds, you're probably in a better position than someone who got 3 or even 4, because this is going to show itself. I feel like there's only so much I can say. I'm just going to leave it at what I said, that it will turn out that as everybody sort of forgets about all this stuff, forgets about the social distancing, forgets about the mask, go back to your old ways, we're done with this COVID thing, back to life as normal, back to how it was, that's going to, result in some very enhanced version being spread. And then again, that'll trigger kind of like the second wave of judgment. And again, the people who will be most greatly impacted will be the people who got the most of these and got this the most recently and all that different type of stuff. So I hope I'm wrong, but look, I know people who know God. I know people who I'm confident hear from God. And whether we agree on all this stuff exactly, we all know something's coming. I mean, you can see people on YouTube talking about it. I talk about it with my friends. We all know something big is coming. And a lot of us think that it pertains to this, okay? That it pertains to this even more so than the virus itself. So don't let your guard down. I mean, like I say in all these videos, we're living in serious times. Do I think the end is right around the corner? No. But do I think we're entering into the final season of humanity? Yes. How long is this season going to last? I would purport at least decades, maybe even 100 years. I don't know, but at least decades. That's my contention. But whether it's years or a decade or decades or 50 years, 100 years, whatever, we're entering into the final phase of humanity. I mean, it's worth pointing out. I mean, this is probably a separate video, but I mean, we're in the future. Like, you watch movies, you watch TV shows from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the stuff that we saw in the future, like, we're in that now. We have our cell phones, and we have all the, touch screens like they had in Minority Report, and we have, all kinds of surveillance going on, and we have self-driving cars, and we have, all this different type of stuff. All this stuff that we've been thinking about one day will enter into the future. Well, we're there. We've arrived. We're here. This is the start of the future. You've got all the talk about, neural implants, and Zuckerberg is talking about metaverse and all this stuff, and virtual reality. And I mean, we're officially in the future. And so this is going to be the final phase of humanity. But like I said, how long is it going to last? I think it's going to be a while, but it's not going to be 1,000 years. I pretty much guarantee you that. So this is the time to get close to God, push towards God, worship God, fast, pray, read the Bible, witness to people, win souls, be bold, all that different type of stuff. Get sin out of your life, be a peculiar person, zealous of good works, help bring about righteousness here on the earth, be what the Bible says you should be, an ambassador for Christ, and the light of the world and the salt of the world and all these different things. And that's going to give you the peace of God that transcends all understanding. It's going to put you in the best position to be connected to God, to hear from God, to have guidance and wisdom from God, to have supernatural provision from God. And so if ever there was a time to really, double down on God and push all in, surely now is that time. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Aloha. God bless.